This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the new moon in Leo, happening on July the 29th at 3:54 a.m. if you're in the southern hemisphere with me. A manifestation period awaits us. There is a beautiful opportunity here to cast your spells, to say your prayers, to send out your wishes. A new moon is a beautiful time to start something, to begin again, to call in what you wish for. Leo is an invitation to reclaim our pride, to reclaim our sense of self and our identity, and to be proud of who it is that we are becoming on this long road of life. It can be tricky sometimes. I know that ego can be a dirty word. People have used it disparagingly. There has been moments in life as we journey through that we are told that we've got too big of an ego, or we're too big for our britches, or we have too much to say, or we're up ourselves, or whatever it is. There's many different ways that this criticism can be transposed to us. We're also, it's to be humble is of utmost importance, to be small and to be quiet. These are all valuable lessons, but they can only exist in balance. They can only happen with balance. The other side of that scale is pride. It is the lion. We embody that creature in our lives in some way. If we think about the zodiac and we think about our birth chart, we have every single sign in our chart. It's just simply a matter of where they lay. For a Capricorn, Leo rules your 8th house, which is a regenerative, restorative, phoenix rising from the ashes type energy. The 8th talks about everything that we'd rather not. It talks about the taboos of life. It talks about really intimate, intense sexuality. It talks about death and grief and rising again. It talks about taxes and rental contracts and the way that we're beholden to other souls in this life and what we're sort of shackled to in some ways, by choice or sometimes not. The 8th is one of the most complex houses of the 12. It's a difficult one to describe because it is so vast and deep. If you think about the natural zodiac, Scorpio rules the 8th. So think about your Scorpio friends. Think about their depth and their absolute, almost impossible space that they exist in as far as emotions. This is all to do with the 8th. I keep on thinking the color purple for the 8th. I don't know why, but like sometimes colors come to me when I think about anything, numbers, I'll think of a color. But when I think of the 8th house, I think of purple. I think of that sort of the rich velvety sort of feeling that purple can bring up for us. So Leo sits there as the queen, the princess of your 8th house. There's a pride there in your ability, Capricorn, to face our 8th house fears. There's a lot that you're capable of when it comes to the more taboo side of life or the darker side, the scarier side of life, life's trials. You're really capable, and there is definitely an image of you sitting on the back of a lion when it comes to the 8th. So when we have a new moon in this house, it's an interesting one because we can call in all sorts of different elements that may be lacking, or that maybe need improvement, or that we are enjoying so much right now and we want more of the same. So do a little research, look into the different interpretations of the eighth, because this is my own and I'm still learning. So there's so much to be discovered. But what part of your life, when it comes to the meat of it, when it comes to life and death and ecstasy and sorrow, rebirth is a word that keeps coming up, and that's the death card talks of the eighth house, regeneration, Hades, Persephone, rising again. What is it that you need to rediscover? Is it your lion? Is it your pride child? Is there something to do with the symbol of the lion that you feel detached from lately, that you used to feel so aligned with? There was something natural about your place in the pride that is slipping away. And we can harness that, and we can call that back in at this new moon. We can pray to the lion spirit as we pray to whatever spirit it is that you resonate with and that you talk to. We can talk to animals. We can remember, what does the lion represent in our lives to us? And in what parts of our life do we want that back? Or do we want to journey further with this pride child? So that's the moon. The tarot card that lines up with the degree that the moon and the sun are conjunct, because it's happening quite soon. It's a new moon only a week after Leo season began, so it's quite fresh. It's 5 degrees of Leo. The tarot card for that is the 5 of Wands, which is a test of will. It is a sparring match. It is 5 wands, 5 magical wands in competition, healthy competition. It's not life or death, but it's definitely, there is some sort of activation of each of these voices that needs to be heard. There is test of will is the best way to say it. So maybe in your magic world, in your magic life, what is it that, what part do you have to play in all of this? What do you have to contribute to this language? And how are you going to, in your specific way, in your own ritualized way, how are you going to work with this new moon, and how are you going to call in that intensity of the 8th that you shine with, Capricorn? It's interesting to talk to you about this sort of stuff because I'm a Capricorn sun, so I definitely know the difficulty or the rigidness sometimes with dropping into something so liminal and so deep. But I think maybe at this new moon you can afford yourself that trust that you're guided. You know, you're on the back of the lion. You're protected by this energy. So that's the moon. There is also a very rare triple conjunction that's happening just a couple of days after this new moon, on the 31st of July to the 1st of August, around that time. But it's an alignment of 3 bodies, so 2 planets and 1 point in the sky, that hasn't happened for 2,000 years. So when looking at astrological maps and the way that the different teachers assess this information is when a specific conjunction occurs, they look back at what happened the last time that occurred. This one hasn't happened for so long, back to time Alexander the Great. Think of that world. This is the last time that this conjunction happened. And then we think about the sign that it's occurring in, which is Taurus. And so collectively on the natural zodiac, that's the 2nd house of talents and money, self-worth, of material abundance. So as a group, there's this pressurization happening here. On your chart, Capricorn, it's your 5th house, which is the house of creativity and expression and the inner child and children as well, the company of children. It's the ego, the ego's first trip around the zodiac. It's that moment of separating the consciousness of I am not my mother. Because when a baby is sort of, you're weaning a baby off the breast and everything, and when the baby's consciousness is opening up, they cry. They don't think that, oh, this individual is coming to help me, that's what I need them for. They see themselves or the mother as an extension of themselves. And so Leo represents, and the fifth house represents this moment of separation and this moment of individuation, which is so sacred and beautiful, and the ideas are popping up. Creativity and expression. I think expression is probably the best word for it. So this conjunction includes the North Node, which has been causing all of these eclipses for all of us. So the fifth house has been activated time and again for you in terms of things that just need to be shed and let go of. In exact conjunction with Uranus, the rebel, and also Mars is coming in to exact alignment. And Mars is the warrior. Mars has the box of matches that is just getting things started. So there's a combustion here. There's a revolution in some ways that is really brewing, that we can feel, that we can predict, but it's coming. And if there's in your sixth or seventh or eighth sense, there is that feeling of things are changing. That five is change. The five keeps cropping up. Things are changing for the better. Fifth house. There's a lot of fives in this reading. Change is coming. So what in relationship to the fifth house for you, into that child space, that wide-eyed expression, that creativity, what is about to combust and what is about to birth? If we call in the powers of the eighth, how can this work together? Astrology is never anything to feel prescribed and doomed to. I'll say that as well. There's nothing in this kind of healing or this kind of learning that you need to feel that you're doomed to suffer. We use all of this language and we get to the root of these things for potential of what, if we can work with our birth chart like a sheet of music, then we're doing a good job. What can be discovered and uncovered. So that's the astrology. I'm going to pull you some intuitive tarot and then we'll call it an evening, Capricorn. But Spirit, I need 3 tarot cards, please. How can we help Capricorn activate their 8th house, which might be a place of trepidation for them, or it could be a place to relish. But what messages, how can we be specific with the Tower? Just gone silent. The Hermit in reverse. And the Nine of Swords. Okay, I feel you, Capricorn, I'm with you, and I support you, and I love you. So there is something brewing, there's something on the way, and this could be an image, a representation of this triple conjunction, of this pressure, this fire with Mars and Uranus in Taurus. Something's going to give, something that was built on an unstable foundation is being invited to be eclipsed and to let go of. This is what this card says to me. There's something about you needing to re-enter community or connection with others. There's something really essential about this. I think you've had your time away at the Hermitage to ponder and to wonder and to try and understand the lessons. What I see is potentially that leading to a space of distress and a space of just repetition, which we've got to break free of, and it's completely natural that this is happening to you, and it's so fine, and you're not being reprimanded by this at all. But I think that what would be the most beneficial thing for you would be to, after this new moon, use that as the space to manifest and to call in the depths of the 8th. Let them, if that's grief that needs to surface, then allow it to surface, but make sure that you're in good company and that you're in good support to allow this to happen. And so as this pressure cooker, as this fire begins to be lit in the 5th, collectively the 2nd, as we move into this change, you're going to be well supported, and you don't have to do this by yourself. Is this what this spread is really saying to me quite clearly? The Nine of Swords is a space that we all experience, and it's difficult because there's so many conflicting perspectives and thoughts, all just in the brain. And so with access to others, and this could be therapy, this could be about engaging in a form of therapy that could be really beneficial for you. This could be something to do with reabsorbing yourself in community as well. That could be really important for you right now, Capricorn. I get a real sense of that. So let's use the new moon wisely, shall we? Let's use that as a opportunity to explore some of the 8th house stuff that's been repressed, some of that grief maybe, and let's use the triple conjunction as the fire to begin to battle for reclamation of your expression and your identity and your creativity and your joy, because you have so much to offer, Capricorn, and we love you for it. That's the reading. The sands run out. I'm going to leave that one there. Do reach out when you need help, Capricorn. It doesn't matter what time. You have love around you right now. I can really feel it. If you'd like to send me a message, you can head to umaruby.com and I can communicate with you via that channel. If you'd like your birth chart read, there's access to that too. But I think what we're going to do, Capricorn, is really rally around you in this moment. It's been a hard trot for Capricorns. You know, we've spoken about it a lot, and that Pluto transit is still lingering. And with all of this combustion, it's only natural for you to feel under pressure. And I want you to know that you're not faulty or alone or weak in any sense, and that this is all coming to a head for a really great purpose and for a moment of release and reactivation, and a moment for you to step back into and onto the back of your lion. Be proud, Capricorn. Be proud of yourself. You've done so well. I'll speak to you in 2 weeks. Absolutely, I will. I'll be here 2 weeks for the full moon in Aquarius. So until then, I love you and I wish you all the very best. Take care, Capricorn.